Cool. Are we live? Are we going? I hope so, because otherwise I'm gonna feel kind of foolish. It is unbearably hot. Well, not hot. It's pretty gosh darn muggy. That's probably too loud. I will suffer the mugginess so that folks can hear me. So, was asked to try doing another live stream. Apparently the last one was pretty enjoyable, so let's try having another one, yeah? Just getting my drawing glove on. And I figured, just for like funsies and warm-ups, because those are always good, I would go to artprompts.org and just kind of warm up with doing some of those, just random character selection things, just little warm-ups. I'm not gonna do a whole lot with it, and I'm gonna be working in Photoshop. So let's see. The sun illuminates his golden hair. It's not really the kind of prompt I was hoping for, but one gets what one gets. Oh, let's try working in a gray background. So that immediately draws to mind like some real sort of cherubic I scared myself. There's a delay between what I'm doing and what shows up on the screen, and for the longest time it was still just kind of like showing that nothing was happening. I was just sitting here chatting to myself, and then suddenly Photoshop popped open and I was like, ah! Ghosts. It's kind of cool because I had an idea as far. It's been a while since I've done any like Photoshop painting. I spend so much time at work. Well, hey May. I spend so much time at work on Photoshop that I was when I get home, I don't want to look at a computer screen anymore. So, I do a lot of traditional drawing when I get home. How are you doing, mate? What you been up to? I know you've been doing quite a bit of drawing lately. So let's see. That was what I wanted. Why aren't you doing what I want? Oh. It was. Welcome back. Ah, yeah. I can see how that would. This was a prompt I got from artprompts.com. The sun illuminates his golden hair. So he's no one in particular. This was just a drawing to get warmed up. Haven't done any drawing today, so I'm kind of just trying to get in the mindset. Did I put his hair? I did put his hair in. That was dumb. No, I have not checked. I've not checked Tumblr in a while. I was trying to figure out how to set up the stream. Oh, okay. What are you gonna implement in this one? This next drawing of him? I don't think that's what I wanted to do. Are you going to try those different versions you were talking about earlier? That works. Yeah, usually when designing characters, it's always good to try a whole bunch of different things because you might, you know, you might have the accident upon what you need for the what you need. I wouldn't worry about making like the image super duper polished and cleaned up and finished because um, you're still trying to figure out his design. So go ahead and do like rough sloppy sketches. Go ahead and like just get the idea down so that way it's down on paper. It's not just in your head. It's down on paper. Um, so you can visually compare it to some of your other ideas, and that might help you. Um, that might help you in the long run. That's not the blue I started off with, but it's the blue I've got. I'm sure people who know what they're doing are just looking at this going, That's always good too. My mouth's so hard. Mouths are always so hard. There. That's good mouth. That works. Yeah, curly hair. Do you have... I don't think you... I'm trying to remember if any of your other characters have curly hair. That's true. Haha, okay. So I know what I'm doing with this guy. Ah! There we go. Looks kind of like Megamind. Okay. You also give him like a receding hairline if you wanted. Or a comb over. Oh, I said you could give him a kind of like a comb over or a receding hairline. Ears too high. That's what. Excuse me. Yeah, I saw that on his Facebook page. Gosh, I haven't seen his reviews in forever. Let's find a new brush to play with. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I used to really love his stuff. really play around with different brushes all that often, so I don't really. Give me a sec to look at it. The only messages I have, talk about his outfit. The only image I have is before you gave him a beard. Oh, okay. Then I don't know what. For the beard, I don't know. Just keep drawing versions and seeing which one you like the best. Yeah, I think beard hair generally does tend to be it's denser and coarser. Um, you can give him a little handlebar mustache. I would if you want some good beards to look at, look up like the beard growing competition or beard styling competitions. Those are pretty fun. No, mustache hair wouldn't look different from generally. I think generally speaking, like the male facial hair tends to be sort of from the same kind of from the same stock. A friend of mine had some pretty wicked sideburns. Mutton chops. Yeah, he had some pretty wicked mutton chops. He worked on them for quite some time and was very, very proud of them. And no one was sad to see them go. And that's fine. If you want him to have the beard mustache, that's fine. At the end of the day, dude, that's your story. It's your project. It's your baby. Do whatever you want. Um, I whatever color eye you want. I don't really think eye color. I mean, brown is the most common. If you want to go with that, that works. Since he isn't Wilson's biological father, you don't have to worry about trying to keep their genetic features similar. So, like, you know, whatever you want. Let me look at it. Yeah, that works. Little curly beard, that's cute. You know, what was supposed to just be a little warm up has ended up taking a lot more time than I anticipated. I'd do a version with both. Hi, White Rose. How are you doing, dear? Thank you. He was supposed to just be a really, really quick, like, warm up, and then I ended up just kind of farting around on him a little bit longer than I'd anticipated. The prompt was, what was the prompt? Oh, the sun reflected his golden hair, and as you can see, I've just given him kind of like canary yellow, and there's no sun reflecting anything. Oh no, what's your bad news? Oh no. That's awful. On the positive side, my my father has diabetes as well, and it sucks and it's inconvenient, but there's a lot more options out for you now than there were like years before. And hi Angus, how are you doing? Yeah. So you've got the sounds like yours is controllable by diet, and that's what my dad has. And he can still there's still plenty of things he can enjoy. Um, he just has to be a little bit more cautious and aware. He's not as good about it as I would prefer, but that's dad's for you. That's dad's for you. So it sounds like it's something that's running your family. That still really sucks. Lady at my work has it. We were talking today. She's been trying some different diet options, and um, she misses stuff, but yeah, she misses um, some junk food and stuff. But in the long run, she's a lot sure her new diet she's a lot happier and healthier with. But other than that, how's everyone doing? I haven't seen a lot of y'all in a long time. Well, and as I said, like, oh, that's cool, Zangoose. What's your new character? Is this a new one, or are you still building some of the older ones? Rose has been doing dolls. That's exciting. I like your dolls. They're always really fun. And May's been drawing. You've been doing a lot of drawing. Oh, that's exciting. Which one are you going to? I've heard of Anime North. And Rose, that's sweet. Zangoose is working on a new character for a Tengu gunslinger. Oh, with a musketeer theme. That'll be exciting. I could see that being really fun. Yeah, that'd be really fun. Now, excuse me for a hot second as I look up what a Tengu is. Because I think I know, but I want to make sure I really... Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That'll be really neat. And Rose, is that like part of a group you're in that you guys make dolls and things to send to Haiti? Or is that just something that you started doing on your own? And I've heard of Anime North. That's one of the bigger ones. Even us down here in the boonies have heard of it. Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, do you when you make your dolls, Rose, is it like a group of people who get together and send the dolls over to Haiti, or is that just? Because I know there are a lot of organizations that will like ship over care packages during the holiday season. I did not have that kind of patience to make dolls when I was 11. I had no patience or discipline whatsoever, so that's really impressive. That's really neat. So you had to teach yourself how to do it. Yeah, as I said, I would not have the patience for that. I did not have the patience for that. Like, I wanted to do neat stuff like knitting and cross stitch and all that jazz, and I didn't. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, kids, so important lesson, don't be like Auntie Liz. First and foremost, pay attention to what layer you're drawing on, because this was just supposed to be a rough sketch, and I ended up just doing all of my shading on it. But it was just supposed to be a rough sketch that I could just, delete later on, but not happening anymore. Watching me flash that layer on and off on this playback screen just makes me feel even sadder. Zangoose, tell us more about your Tengu character. Rose, do you have any characters? It's been kind of a character chat. You've got a Pony OC. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. I am a My Little Pony fan. I'm behind on the seasons. I'm very, very far behind. But Rarity was always my favorite because she was very artistic and she didn't like being outside, and I could sympathize. A Pegasister. I always referred to I always liked bronies. Not gonna lie. I think it was because it was shorter. Good choices. May, who was your favorite? Or who was the character you liked, or you found you ended up relating with? Twilight and Fluttershy, good choices. Yeah, I always related with yeah, I always related with Rarity. I'm a little bit of a drama queen, and I like to do artsy things. Anybody watch Steven Universe? Yeah, I liked the main six. I think I think I kind of stopped watching after Twilight became a Pegasus. At least that was the last season I remember watching. It was like that one. I'm a fan of Steven Universe, and I have one of the songs stuck in my head right now, and it's one of the songs I like from the show. Like, the show has a lot of great songs. Some of them are better than others. And I have one stuck in my head, and it's driving me a little nuts. Even though I like it, I like the song. It's always frustrating when one gets stuck in your head. Did we lose Angus? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in a little bit. Garnet's a good one. Lapis is pretty fun. Oh, that was nice of them. I hop onto DeviantArt very rarely, every once in a while, not as often as I used to. But don't like the llama badges. After so many, you get like a super awesome badge or something. Like after so many llamas, you got like a gold llama or a tuxedo llama. I don't know what this eyeball is doing. Its own thing. It's doing its own thing. It's being creepy, that's what it's doing. It's gonna be a creepy ass eyeball. Oop. I love to swear. Well, thank you, May. Generally for character references, you'll want to have both arms visible. So then that way, like if he's got a watch on one arm and like something else on the other, like you can see, if there's anything different between the arms. And yeah, White Rose, I believe I follow you on DA. And I've seen, I think, half of season 1. I picked up the DVD box set. Maybe a year and a half ago, and I just haven't sat down to watch. I watched half of it. I haven't finished it. I think I've got season 2. Oh, don't be worried about it, Meg. Yes, I am following you, Miss Rose. Yeah, good arm refs. Good references can be hard to find. Oh, it'll be their last? Huh. So what's, Rose, what's going on with the... It looks like there's a female version of Finn with a cat named Cake. Now, what are they about? Are they part of that universe? Are they just kind of a fan thing? And Rose, okay, I'm not following you on mute, so I'll follow you on mute as well. But Rose, if you would like a really good website for, like poses, if you need to get, pose ideas, let me get my thoughts together. Okay. quickposes.com. I'm going to bring it down. There we go. I lost you guys. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, quickposes.com. It's there is nudity because it's an anatomy reference site. Not all of them are naked. That's where I was kind of like very cautiously scrolling down. Okay, we're good. But you do have the option, like there's time practice and random poses. You do have the option of going with clothes and costumes. Oh, ads, I'm assuming so, since I have ad block. Or I don't know about ad block, or ads. But I've not had any issues with viruses or spam stuff. I didn't have to sign up for anything, so they don't have my email. But it's a pretty neat. It really is a neat site. Let's. There. That way I won't. There. If when I pull up a random pose, we don't run the risk of anyone showing anything naughty. But it's just a bunch of different images on this site. And you can use them to practice drawing. And I use this site a lot when I don't know what to draw, but I know I need to draw something. I'll go here and I'll get like colored pencils and sketch just like 10 to 20 second sketches of life drawings, and that'll help a lot. And as we saw, you can choose, you can do pose, which would be full body, face, which will be self-explanatory, and then hands. So it's self-explanatory. I do a lot of the time practices. Awesome. Yeah, no, it's, as I said, it's good for if you don't really know what to draw. I like to go there and just have it do random poses. So let's do this golden illuminated hair, yeah? Because that was kind of his whole point. This was just supposed to be a warm-up, and it ended up being the entirety of my stream, which has been going on for an hour and 5 minutes. It was only supposed to be like, a 10-minute warm-up. Whoopsies. Yeah, one of my favorite books is called Good Omens. And it is about the end of the world and an angel and a demon who don't want the world to end. They're having too much fun. So they try to stop the end of the world. Welcome back, Zangoose. Zangoose, is there another name you would prefer? there like a general nickname you'd prefer, or? That was by Neil Gaiman, actually. Yes, and Terry Pratchett. It was a collaboration between the two of them, and that was sort of my first introduction to them. And then I read Coraline and the Graveyard Book. Surrey? Okay. I can do Surrey. I didn't know if you had like an overall nickname that you like to go by, or that, you're used to. Surrey is easy enough to remember. Always your favorite? Nice. I've read, as I said, I haven't read too much of his stuff. I listened to him read The Graveyard Book, which was a delight. I listened to, it wasn't him, it was another, it was an audiobook, and I don't remember who did the reading, but it was it Neverwhere, which was another delight. I tried to listen to American Gods a couple years ago, and the person who was reading it was awful, so I didn't get to finish American Gods. And I've read a couple of his comics, a couple of the Sandman comics. I have not read Wolf on the Wall. Is it good? There is an animation studio, or it was more like, I think, an independent animator decided that he wanted to animate one of Neil Gaiman's short stories, and I think he took it to like Kickstarter or GoFundMe. I want to say it was like Kickstarter back in its early Kickstarter-y days. And they raised some money to animate it. And every once in a while I see updates. I unfortunately did not get on it quickly enough to help fund it, which is something I'm eternally sad for, but I'm glad that it did get funded. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. It was the story about a cat who protects. Odd and the Frost Giants. No, I haven't heard of that one. What about you, Zangoose? We're discussing favorite books right now. Do you have a favorite book or a favorite graphic novel? A favorite story or tale? It's about the North Gods. That's interesting. Is anyone watching North Gods protected? Oh, okay. The North Gods were protecting a boy. Oh, Goosebumps were the best! Yeah! Good choices. So the North gods were protecting a boy, and they could turn into animals. I can see that being the case. Yeah, some of them were pretty creepy, but I like being scared. I like a good scary story. I like a good scary movie. Oh, they were trapped as animals. This isn't the shade of orange I was working with earlier, but this is what we've got. That works, May. Odin is a bear. Sorry, what was your favorite Goosebumps? There was one, and I think it might have been like one of his later versions. That's not what I want. It was like, I remember the book had some sort of like red coral, and if you touched it, it burned. It was pretty creepy. Thor is an eagle, and Loki is a fox. Of course, that makes sense. That's legit. Foxes are generally considered to be tricksters. I don't color hair very often. Alright, so just in general, I've spent too much time on this guy, and I'm getting ready to move on to something else. Oh, that was dumb. Look, it's the sun! Makes his hair all golden and beautiful. See, I kept it within the prompt. Yeah, Deep Trouble. That sounds about legit. They're gonna turn the Graveyard Book into a film, or like stop motion like Coraline, because that would be amazing. If it's Leica Studios who does it, like that'd be perfect. I love Leica Studios. And I think I remember the Headless Ghost. I think I remember that one. I definitely remember the Slappy one, because he was like the most iconic character, and he just wasn't the villain in the first one. Spoilers. Okay, so let's go for another prompt. Let's keep this one under 20 minutes, maybe. All right, so, or do you guys want to do like give me a quick art prompt, like I remember, yeah, choose your own adventure novels. Those were awesome and horrible at the same time, because I would always cheat and read ahead and decide, well, I want to go this route, because this route doesn't have me get stung by bees. I cheated. Yeah, I remember those Goosebumps. Yeah, I remember R.L. Stine doing that. Oh. You got the inside info, girl. Yeah, I can see that being kind of confusing. Yeah, it is. You always seem to know the good dirt. Okay, so May is suggesting a character. Suri and Rose, do you guys want to suggest like a color scheme and an activity that this character is doing? Oh, there are 3 characters on this. So one of the young ladies from... Oh, that's weird. Uh-oh. Okay, I lost you guys for a second. Yeah, bring it on! Okay, so there are 2 young ladies in this photo, in this picture. Do one of you guys want to pick out, like, an activity? Like an activity she could be doing, or like a color scheme, or a challenge, challenge. Give me something. So the young lady in the tux. Okay. Playing checkers. Okay. Yeah, they walk into a store and they're cut in half by a magic jukebox. I know, right? Okay. So we'll do a monochromatic, and she's playing checkers. And is the young lady in the tux. So we've got a color scheme, we've got an activity, we've got a character. What color? What color? Or shall I just do this until I find a color? Okay, we'll do blue. Because I generally like to sketch in blue too. So I can use this blue. And go with this blue. Let's toss on all this blue. Do white. And black. Alright, I think I can work with that. I think we can have something crazy with this. Let's do all of them. So I've kind of got got an idea. Yeah. I'm gonna try and stick with these, with those shades and hues, but I am gonna do some blending, so of these, so I'll try to keep within this, but I'm not gonna use like pinks or yellows or anything else. I want her to be kind of. So is anybody else drawing for Mermaid? Oh yeah, I've seen some really interesting pieces with the trichromatic. I've not done any interesting pieces with them, but I've seen them. And Mermaid, it's sort of like Inktober or a daily drawing challenge where you're supposed to draw a mermaid. No, Mermaid. Um, so you basically draw a mermaid every day throughout the month of May. I hadn't heard of it until this year. Yeah, yeah. If you've made dolls that look like mermaids, that definitely counts. Oh, someone's keeping secrets. Remember, kids, perspective is for the weak. I think Ms. is appropriate. MS is always just a safe bet. Yeah, I remember you talking about her at the last stream. And that's cute, a little mermaid costume. I had a mermaid Ariel, and I was so very confused when my mom insisted she was not a bath toy. She's like, no, you can't take her. You don't want to get her wet, that'll ruin her. I was like, Mom, she's a mermaid. Duh. Oh yeah, she wasn't supposed to go. She I put her in the pool one time, and yeah, she didn't like that too well. Her hair got kind of nasty. Okay. I'm just going to start laying in these details a little darker. Oh, that's really neat. Made a waterproof suit for her. What kind of material did you use for that? Was it like that I probably wouldn't even know if you told me. Like I'm so ignorant when it comes to crafting and sewing like that. That's a clever way to make a waterproof suit. And Suri is... But so far, Juxin is going to be on the character creation portion. Oh, it's going okay. I'm so sorry. The screen that has the chat... Big pardon. The screen that has the chat is farther away. And I'm old, so I can barely read. Lawful neutral Tengu, whose morals revolve around his family. So, what are typical traits for the Tengu? Like, I know kind of the roughest of idea of what one is, but what's kind of typical for them? I do not have Skype. I take that back. I do have a Skype. I just never get on it. Usually when I get home from work, I tend to avoid the computer because I'm sitting at a computer all day. I'll usually just kind of not be on a computer when I get home. But May requested the stream, so many thanks to you, May. So I decided to hop on. So no, I do not have Skype, but I have a Twitter I check up on relatively regularly, and I believe it's the same name as my YouTube. And I also have an Instagram and a Facebook page. Those are ones I regularly check up, and it's the same name, Lizbeth Hoadley. And those I usually check up on my phone. As I said, I'm on a computer all day at work. I want to not have to stare at a screen. You've got a Twitter? All right. What's your Twitter? I have Miss Wontkins on Wontkins on mine, and she's a delight. I recommend following her. She is an absolute delight. I don't think that's how that works. Alrighty. I will copy that and look for that on Twitter. People were talking about, Discord for the longest time, and I was so confused because I kept thinking they were referring to the character from My Little Pony. I was always so confused. Alright, dear, following you. Thank you. She's a cute character. I'm excited about this one. It might end up... This one might end up being a little bit longer than 20 minutes. I know I said I was going to try and keep it under 20, but I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we going to do with this other hand? I wasn't thinking that far. Okay. Oh, Tengu. Tengu tend to be pretty community-based, though a bit reclusive, so they're pretty secretive about their traditions. Okay. So, yeah, I could see how that would be... He would cling to, like, the musketeer tradition, then. You'd compare him to a musketeer, because, like, they're kind of the old-school chevalier sort of method. And why, thank you, Miss Rose. And you are very good at what you do as well. Beg pardon. But yeah, I was not thinking about the second hand, because people tend to have two of them. And it looks like this young lady has two. Aww. Yeah, I didn't know how well the last stream went, so I hadn't really jumped on. And as I said, when I get home from work, I just kind of not the biggest fan of sitting in front of a computer screen even more. But yeah, I do. I'm having fun. I enjoy these. And it always seems like the last couple times CR's done a stream, I've missed them. Like I'll get the heads up like after, and May, bless her heart, tries to send me warnings that they're going on, but by the time I actually get around to it, it's like, oh, it's been over for 45 minutes. Oh. Aww. So, Tengu. Back to Tengu for a hot sec. Most of the traditions come from various aspects of neighboring countries, and their cultures even extends to the language, which is made up of bits and... So yeah, he could be sort of like this really interesting hodgepodge. That could be an interesting juxtaposition, where he's conflicting between like old school and new school of all these different cultures around him. That's interesting. You've got an interesting guy on your hands. And yeah, White Rose, I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you come and you talk with us too. I have fun. Speaking of CR, I'm going to change the hot topic second. The hot second topic. That made whoa. What is he streaming lately? Because I thought I saw he was doing a different game one day than, why? Oh, there we go. Than what he had been playing. Oh, I'm good. So are things going better with you guys? Because yeah, she did need to know that. You know. Maybe she didn't, I don't know, maybe she didn't realize just how she was coming across. I don't. But are things going better with you guys? Heroes of the Storm? Now, what's Heroes of the Storm? Because I saw on one of his latest videos, he reviewed something, and I didn't know if that was one of the games he was live streaming. I don't like that hand. I don't like it. Suri, do you play Hearthstone? Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's a hard one, Rose. That one, yeah, that's a hard one. I used to work with people who had dementia. And that's a hard one for everyone. Are you guys doing all right? Okay, it's kind of like, okay. League of Legends. I've never never played League of Legends. I remember my one of my dear friends from college. Her husband was really into League of Legends, and I would come visit her, and he would just be in his office screaming in rage. And I figured that was probably not the game for me. Yeah. Well, my thoughts go out to you, Miss Rose. That's a toughie. Yeah. That's a tough one, man. I feel ya. I've had family members with dementia, though fortunately, um, they were more when yeah. At least she knows. You guys are aware. You guys know what's going on. That still sucks though. My thoughts go out to you. Wow, that's tough. Oh wow, so she's been going through that for a while. And Suri, you've been playing for a while. You've been play. Oh, chat's going. Chat's going faster than I can read, guys. You play it on occasion, though Heroes of the Storm is currently something you've been trying. Is that something you could play with CR? Like, would he? Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I've never touched anything like that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So you did quite an investment in League of Legends, and it's no bueno. That's frustrating. Like, I know it was really popular for a while. And you play checkers? Miss Rose plays checkers. I used to play with my grandmother, and I'm pretty sure she let me win. At my workplace, a buddy of mine has a Connect 4 at his desk. And I don't play against him because he is cutthroat. But a couple of the other folks at the office play against him every once in a while. And it is funny to see grown adults like just absolutely rage over a game of Connect 4. Like they get intense. And I'm over there like, I'm not getting in that. Have you ever tried chess? Someone bless his heart tried to teach me how to play chess, and um, it failed spectacularly. I'm not good at remembering all those rules, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, I just don't have the patience. Oh, okay. So there's two skins only available on Heroes of the Storm. And are those, which skins are those? Checkers is better. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough game. And I'm not a very good strategist. Usually my strategy is just run headfirst to it and hope for the best. And then flail when it isn't the best. A skin for Genji and for D.Va. So can you? So maybe you can explain the meme that's been going on. This is just um, how far out of the loop I've been. But I've seen a meme going around lately with I think it's Genji and Mercy. Um, Mercy's always healing Genji, and Genji's always needing heals. Can someone explain that one to me? Like, what's the running gag behind? I feel like there's more to it than just he needs heals bad. Ah, I'm a bit of a meme addict. I like to send them at work instead of typing out emails. I'll find cat pictures. Yeah, the I need healing. And Miss Rose, when I was younger, I wanted to be a professional artist. So I had hoped that I'd hoped that art would have been a little bit more than a hobby. Um, but and in a way it is. It's a little bit more than a hobby, but like I think when I was younger, I had anticipated I would be doing like the violin and being an amazing seamstress and like having all of the cool hobbies and talents, and I ended up sometimes I can draw. Okay, he's a popular pick for beginning players who don't know the genre, which is fair. That would probably be me. I think the one time I tried playing Team Fortress 2, I played medic because I liked his character. I thought his meet the so and so was funny. So I was like, I'll be the healer. And the only button I could figure out was I need healing, I need healing, I need healing. So there's the healer standing at the beginning of the round going, I need healing. And everyone was like, no, you're done. Okay. That explains it, May. That explains it, Suri. And you're gonna be doing human sized dresses? That's gonna, oh man. That's hard. A friend of mine is a bit of a seamstress, and it's always interesting to watch her work because she'll make something and then she'll wear it once or twice and then it'll sit in her closet for a couple years, and then the next thing I know she's dragging it back out, tearing it apart and making something new out of it. She's a cosplayer. She does some really she does a lot of like the goth. Yeah, she does some cosplay, but she really likes to wear like the big Victorian Gothic dresses. And she made her own wedding dress. It was very impressive. I was not able to. They got married in Scotland, and they didn't. They eloped. Her and her husband eloped to Scotland. So I did not get to see her in her wedding dress, which was sad. I saw it at the reception though. She had a party when she came home, but it was very pretty, and I was very very impressed. So bad strategy. That's funny. Oh, bless the new kid's heart. But they tried, eh? They tried. Though without a doubt, that would probably be me. I would probably be that. I would probably be that player who's like no idea what I'm doing. I swear, I love video games. I love to play them. I'm just awful at them. Like I really did enjoy playing XCOM when I was playing it, but I was just absolutely awful at it. I had fun though. I'm just awful. Everyone always died. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. Because I, for the longest time, I was seeing that meme and I was like, what is going on? I don't get the joke. Anybody play Andromeda? Or Mass Effect? Yeah, those are lips. Those are lips. I swear, guys, those are lips. Okay. I think I can work with that. What the? Okay, that's better. I moved it and I didn't know. New layer. That does make sense though. Yeah, like yeah, you would want the Mercy would want to heal the group because she can get the most people taken care of, most efficiently with the least amount of effort. Whereas if like the Genji's off doing whatever it is the Genji is trying to do. Just for the sake of devil's advocate, this part is not in sync with this part. I think it's not long enough. No worries, Rose. That works. I'm here. Sorry, I was focusing on the drawer rings. Nope. So much easier to rotate things in Illustrator. What are you doing? What ya? Is CR supposed to stream tonight? Did he say if he was going to? Because I don't want to keep, I don't want to keep everyone from his stream. And as I said, my alert doesn't usually tell me until, like, it's too late. Yes, please, tell us more about the Tengu. I'm would love to know more. As I said, I have like just a very, very general idea of what one is, and I think I've seen Gaijin Goomba talk about them on Culture Clash once, twice maybe, but I don't recall. I would enjoy a refresher. What on? Yeah, that works, Siri. If you just kind of keep an eye out. I'm a very casual video game player. I used to enjoy Flash games a lot. I wanted to work on Flash games. I went to school for that. And then I graduated just when Flash games were no longer a thing. Or weren't very popular anymore. So I was the saddest of pandas. But that's alright. It happens. And just kind of brush yourself off and keep going. But I enjoyed Mass Effect and I won't worry about that one just yet. Andromeda. It's been getting a little bit of hate, but man, they just throwing shade. Is that what the kids say? Throwing shade. That's what the youngins are saying, right? I'm hip. I can be relevant. Relevant? I can be relevant. So the previous Steven Universe song is no longer in my head, but now I have another one. Thank you, Rose. Tengus and Pathfinders are natural linguists in the setting, having ability to learn vast amounts of languages easily due to how their own works. Okay. So that's interesting. Now, one thing that I always wondered when it came to species that learn languages so quickly like that, does that include something like American Sign Language or ASL? Like, would they be able to pick something like that up really easily? Because it is, I mean, it is a language. They mostly they mostly do the vocal languages, but they could do celestial or language of the angels. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, like that would be an interesting caveat to see. Um, and Lord, I mean, like it would require all kinds of weird like setup. Like, how often would you run into an individual who was communicating in sign to test like the limitations of that trait? I don't know. It was just like a thought that popped into my head. Um, you always like every once in a while you'll hear about someone like a character or something that can learn or knows um, just about any language, and it's like, well, what about this one? Hmm. Now, are those fully fledged out languages? Like I know Tolkien had completely fleshed out. Is it Elven and Orc? Like you could literally learn that language. Are all of those languages fleshed out fully like that, or is it just like um, I guess the word I don't know if that's like there's a way you could learn to speak. Because I know Pathfinder's been around for a while, and it's pretty intense. Like it's pretty extensive. Look at me doing good habits. And that's fair. Like, as I said, like, I would know, but I know Pathfinder's been around for a really, really long time. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if someone did develop some of the languages. That is above and beyond me. I would be the lost little duck. I'd be the lostest of little ducks. Do any of you guys watch Far From Subtle? Video Games Awesome? They were playing a game called The Sexy Brutale. And I'm not gonna lie, the suit makes me think of that game. Just because it's such a classy game. That's fair. That would be a lot of data overload. That'd be a lot. Oof. I didn't think about that. A friend of mine was working on a Pathfinder story, but she wanted it to be a murder mystery. She told me a little bit about it, and the work she put into it was rather impressive. Like, I had not seen her put that much work into anything in a very, very long time. I think they're gonna save it for October. Yeah, whichever appeals first. That sounds fair enough. She tried to show me some Pathfinder stuff, and I kind of no buenoed. Thank you, Miss Rose. Just kind of winging it right now. By the seat of my pants. But why not? She told me about it. And I think her and her friends are going to hold off on it until around Halloween, if they decide to do it. She's still kind of wishy-washy, but she spent over 2 hours explaining this story to me, and she still was only half done. Like, we were college roommates, and I saw her do like her senior finals. She put more thought into this than her entire senior finals. I was just like amazed. Spoiler alert, it was not the butler who did it. I have heard of Monster High, Miss Rose. I used to really enjoy the Flash animation. And I used to collect the dolls. I had, at one point, and it's not the case anymore, but I had at one point almost every single Ghoulia doll. And I had a couple that I would repaint I made one look like Chell from Portal. I made another one look like, they're sitting behind me actually. I had another one look like Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, and then I did a rockabilly. Oh yeah, she was very excited about it, and it was very interesting. Like, she had gone into, like, generations and generations and generations in this murder mystery, and I was, as I said, it took 2 hours, and she was still only just like halfway done. I was like, "Who are you? What have you done with my friend?" She's notoriously lazy. Don't tell her I said that. I am also notoriously lazy. Cult of the Changing Personalities. Basically, that's what happened. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good way to sum it up. Because her husband has done a couple DMs, and he used to be like real shy, and he wasn't the most creative individuals, but he did this one. I mean, like, he did his own DM, and he put so much time and work and effort and energy and creativity into it. And I was just, once again, I was amazed. I was like, where has this side of you been? Yeah, I will see how her campaign goes. Because the people she's wanting to play with, um, I think they're more of like the traditionalists. But at the same time, I think like she's got them intrigued. I think they've got a couple other campaigns lined up before they do hers. That's what I think they were gonna hold hers off until October. Some friends of mine were playing a Marvel tabletop role playing game, and they let me sit in and just kind of be like the sassy commentator, like the Muppets, Waldorf and Statler. And I have played the first Kingdom Hearts, and I liked it a lot. Um, I got halfway through the second one, and I got to a point where everyone was kind of happy, and I was like, all right, no, everyone's happy. I'm only halfway through the game, which means something bad's gonna happen. But everyone's happy right now, so we're done. Did you play it, Miss Rose? The second one was good. I got to the point where was like everyone had kind of met up, and I was like, everyone's really just kind of happy right now. I don't want to jinx this for them. So I really, oh, you watched it as a movie? Yeah, that's a way to do it. That's what I've been doing with a couple different games right now, because I'll have them play in the background while I'm sketching in my sketchbook, because it's one of those, you either have the time but not the money, or you have the money but not the time. And also the ones that I'm watching are scary games, and I don't really know if I want to play a scary game too much. I enjoy being scared. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy scary movies. I enjoy scary books. I don't know if I could do a scary game. And also, I'm watching the Scary Game Squad, which is the Completionist and Jesse Cox and gosh, what's his name? He has a Pokemon channel. Yeah, you don't care. Yeah, I remember you saying you didn't care for them. Yeah, and that's what I think with these games. Like they're not that scary because they don't really succeed in the uncanny valley. So I don't know. It doesn't scare me quite so much just because as I said, like the models aren't that great. I mean, they're decent enough by all means. Like I'm Lord knows I can't do better, so I can't really give them MacGuffins, but um sorry, I fell into a thought. I plummeted face first into it. Um Lord knows I can't do better, but at the same time, there's that uncanny valley, and God, that's hard to cross. It's hard to successfully cross. Um, Aww. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Some people think it's strange when I add the miss or the sir or so on and so forth. But I'm watching it. What is it? Scary Game Squad, and they're not a fan. They're not fans of scary games either. So, part of my fear is kind of negated by hearing them scream. Like I don't feel quite so bad. So if you want, I don't know, if you want to watch them, I highly recommend them. They don't, and they have more. They play like not just scary games. That when they get together, they call themselves the Scary Game Squad. But they do also review and play a variety of other games. So I recommend them. Only a few call you Miss Rose? Well, I am honored to be one of the cool few. A video on my Fuzzy Buddies? No, I don't know if the world can handle that much cute. They're pretty gosh darn. They're pretty gosh darn, is what they are. They're gosh darn all right. I am not allowed to get past the front door without feeding them when I get home from work, and I'm not allowed to leave. Oh, you're wait. What's in your? What kind of package are you getting? Is it fun stuff? Oh, okay. You need to mend them. Makes sense. Poor thing, how'd they break? Oh, okay. She has no feet, she only has legs, and so you need. Okay, makes sense, yeah. One of my coworkers, they didn't last only for, that's not very long. I mean, it might depend on the wear and tear. Oh, it'll be a while. If it's coming far away, it might be a while. I had to wait, I think it was over a month to get my screen protector for my tablet because it was coming from China as well. After a while, I was getting rather impatient. Surprise, surprise. One of my coworkers, she does a lot of clay sculptures and such. Um, but she's moving to Europe, so she's selling. You live in Florida? You live in Florida? Florida? Sorry, I'm distracted. She does sculpting and modeling, and she works with faux fur and gemstones and crystals. Like, she makes some really impressive things. But she's moving over to Europe soon, so she's trying to, sell off some stuff so she doesn't have to take it with her, or she doesn't have to worry about it. And one of the things I was amazed she was selling is this giant fursuit that she'd made. I mean, it is super super impressive, and she loves it to bits and pieces. But it's one of those things. It's just so big, it would probably end up being wrecked. That's one way to do it. Though I'm a notorious. I when I'm bored, I tend to snack. I'm really bad about that. I I have mixed feelings about real fur because we do have some real pelts at my house. Um, so I have mixed feelings. The pelts we do have were not poached though. We do have, or at least the documentations we have speak for them not being poached. So I don't know. What was I doing with this thing? Oh, I see. She was supposed to. Yeah, I can see that. You've got his backstory. You've got a rough concept down. It's just the fleshing out parts. Um, you said he was really into his family. Like that was a big motivator, his big drive. Does he have a big family? Does he have a smaller family? I do, Miss Rose. I do actually have a childhood toy. I kept I think we kept quite a few of mine. I have this little lamb. I guess it was like my quote unquote first stuffed toy. I have that on a shelf in my room. I kept my brother's first toy. It was a dog. And then I also have a stuffed dog I got in third grade um, from my favorite teacher. Uh, I was really, really sad that I wasn't going to be in her class anymore. Um, she was one of the first teachers who didn't pick on me, or I didn't feel like I was being picked on when I was in her class. And she gave me this little stuffed dog that she had. It was in like the quote unquote reading nook. She encouraged students to go read by having these stuffed toys, and that was the one that I always gravitated towards. So when I graduated third grade, she let me keep it. And his name is Cuddles. And he does. He sleeps on my bed. He stays with me. I use him as a pillow more often than not anymore. And you bet, when I'm not feeling well, I dig him out. Aww. See, like, isn't that sweet? Teachers affect us, and they impact our lives a whole lot. Okay, so Juxon has a small contained family. Not sure if he's married or children. Leaning more towards no. Well, yes, of course he has a mom and a dad. That was very sweet of you, Miss Rose. You are much, much more generous than I. I would not be able to give up my cuddles. That sounded weird, but you get what I'm saying. I had that stuffed toy through some pretty rough times, and I don't think I could give him up. Oh, there you go. Did she make the doll? Did she make the doll that she Okay. Oh, your other teacher. Okay. Sorry. I did a quick glance. I bet she was really proud to hear, or if she ever knew, I bet she was proud that you picked it up as a hobby. One of my buddies was a high school math and computer teacher, and um, the little things like that definitely, um, when he inspired and affected someone's life like that, he said those were the moments that he said teaching is a hard job, and he enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was just it got to be a little too much for him. But he said those were the moments he's mentioned, like, those are the moments that he kind of misses, is just making that connection with someone and knowing that you've affected them, kind of molded them for the rest of their life, and there's just something really powerful about that. Aw, yeah, that's a way to make dolls, with a sock. Aw, it's a way to do. Ah, okay. So, Suri's wanting Suri's debating on if the wife and kids, because why would he be adventuring? It's hard to find that balance between adventure and family life. Well, Miss Ringles. Aw. I'm trying to think of what I've Siri, does he have any sort of like trade? Oh, Miss Black, blah, blah, blah. Miss Black looked like Belle. How pretty. Um, Siri, does he have like a trade? Perhaps he, he's a trader, or he makes something and he goes, like maybe his wife is an artisan, and he travels around to sell her wares so she can stay on the home. She can hold down the homestead, raise the kiddos because it might be too dangerous to take the kids, and she can also continue to work. She can continue to work on her craft, and he goes far and wide to sell what she does because it's maybe it's something that's in high in demand, something rare, and therefore it might be have a unique demand. She would read you guys stories. Aww. What grade was she also in elementary? Guard or soldier, okay. She could be a former guard or a soldier. Okay. Could he perhaps go on like training excursions to keep his skills sharp? You had her for a few years. You had Miss Black for a few years, and then you had a graduation at 10. And your mom is part of the school board. That's cool. My mom was not. She just wasn't able to dedicate the time, which is fine. Like, I was okay with it. I didn't mind. She she helped out whenever she could, but for the most, she wasn't able to do all like the PTA meetings or stuff like that. But by golly, if they needed cookies, she was more than happy to do cookies. Usually because we got some too. Oh, new playgrounds. That's pretty intense. Ice cream man to go to your school and to the house. That's pretty clever. The ice cream man appreciated that. Okay, so Suri's main. Oh, Miss Blank. Okay. So Suri's goal for the party is to obtain airship tickets to flee the town before it's shut off from the rest of the world. Okay, so I can see where you'd have some qualms about. So yeah, I mean, like if he had a family, that would be his motivation to get these airship, as many of these airship tickets as possible. Stamford, Connecticut. I think I've heard of that. But that would be his big motivation to get as many of those tickets as possible. So that I can see that being his motivation. But at the same time, if he's not able to get those tickets, man, like what's he gonna do? Because I mean, it's one of those things. Would he leave his family behind so that you can continue the story? Oh, so it's a house that's been in the family. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my cat is on the other side of the door mowing at me. Oh, okay. So the reason why he's wanting to get a ticket is because he wants to join his family. Okay, I see it now. You can? Aw. Yeah, it's a little bum bum. She's not quiet. She's a sweet cat, though. So yeah, I can definitely see that being like his big motivator. Like he wants to join his family. And then then he wouldn't have to worry about okay. I see where it's going. That makes sense. He's not wanting to you wouldn't run into the big dilemma of, well, would he leave his family behind? Because you need him to go on this quest or this plot or this story. So if he's not able to obtain the 4 tickets, like that's, I dig it. Oh, they found a baby kid. Did they were they able to take care of him, or what'd they do with him? Oh my! In the highway? Why do people? How are people so horrible? That would make sense. Yeah, I can see his family. Um, I can see his family leaving when things are starting to look bad. Like just to just be safe somewhere else because maybe whoever's putting the blame on him is big time scary, kind of like like mob scary, and so his family's just like getting the heck out of Dodge. Like maybe he took the fall for um, well, yeah, no, it's what you've been saying. He took the fall for something. Um, and it's almost, I mean, like, it was almost preferable for him to do the time in prison than to face off against um, the big bads, the guys who actually, I'm gonna refer to them as the mob because that's the only word that's coming to my mind. But it was more preferable for him to spend time in prison than it was to risk the anger of the mob group or whatever, and his family, to keep them safe, fled before they might possibly get caught up in anything. And so Miss Rose's sister took the runt, named her Fela. Freya. Okay, I will definitely look up Freya because that sounds sweet. Yeah, we got Bumble and Percy from the animal shelter, and Percy had been hiding behind in the corner, and then I walked in the room and he came out of hiding, curled up in my lap, and fell asleep. And Bumble literally crawled into my purse. Like I put my purse down to put Percy back in the spot that he'd been hiding, and when I looked back, um, Bumble was in my purse. I was like, "Kitten, seriously?" She knows I'm talking about her. She's making noises. Yeah, no, sorry, I like that. I like this idea. I like this idea that you've got. That really makes him like a good, wholesome family man kind of guy. And depending on who else is in the party, he could kind of play the role of like wiser, older, fatherly um, character. I think Lil Bum Bum likes me too. It could be because I have thumbs and I can open a can. I'm pretty sure that's about 75% of why she likes me. I also have fingernails and I can do scritches. She's a big fan of scritches. Okay, so let's do a little line art for her face. Whoa, too far. And she does like to cuddle. So the crime he was convicted of was not enough for a death sentence, but enough for some time in jail. It's a toughie. Gia likes to cuddle. Aww. I'm trying to think, what would be something that'd get you in some pretty... What kind of puppy is Gia? What's a crime that could get you in some serious trouble, but not in the kind of trouble where you'd lose your life? So probably not framed for murder, because that would probably get him... Possibly robbery, but... Oh, little poodle. Yeah, well, it depends. How long have they known that the place was going to be closed off? And how long has he been, um, locked away? Because if it's one of those things like the close off was supposed to be sprung up on a surprise, and that probably, and he's, if he'd been incarcerated for a while. She tomboy. Oh. I am quite obviously the worst cat owner in the whole wide world. Can you hear those pleas? That's really impressive. I'm lucky if my dog sits. But sorry, before yeah, I can see him definitely like urging his family to go on ahead without him, and like he'll catch up. What about something like desertion? Attempted assault? Um, who? Um, any idea on who framed him? Oh, you guys do poodle? Yeah, my mom was a poodle fan, and my great great aunt was a poodle fan. She had a little black one named Pepper. I I always wanted a standard poodle, one of the big guys, but I don't know if we would. We're not exactly a very. Our household would not be very very good for a large dog. Quack. There's a bunch of them in your neighborhood. So do you have any idea like who one's sweet and one's a snob? I can see that being I can see that being a common poodle trait. But any idea? Yeah, I that could work. He was trying to apprehend a corrupt but publicly liked official. They claimed he was attempting to assault. Perhaps he was investigating something, and this official. Oh, geez, almost 3 hours. Almost been streaming for 3 hours. Holy canoles. Guys, this one was only supposed to be 20 minutes. Like investigating like some sort of like this individual was doing some shady business, and they needed him out of the way. So whoa, that's weird. That's not how eyelashes work, guys. Well, I know it's 3 hours, and I'm over here just yapping away. Maybe like for embezzling. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, I'm missing a finger. Dagnabbit, hands. Yeah, that works. Yeah, no, I know how that goes. Yeah, it's 10:01 here. I still need to take a shower and I still have to draw a mermaid for May. For today. Shh, don't tell. There. 10:02 now. Usually by this point in the evening, I've taken a sleeping pill and have had my shower and am pouting because I've missed a stream. I've also gotten my mermaid drawn for the day. I'm behind. Today's mermaid's just gonna have to be a quickie. There. Well, night, Miss Rose. You have a good one. Sweet dreams to you, dear. What are some series that have scientific spirit? Well, there's Independence Day, which is not a series, that's a movie. Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe. They do some experimentations on aliens. Look up, I think it's Machinima does Half-Life. Or like Black Mesa. That looks, yeah, no. Siri, that's a good, that's good. Yeah, it flows. That really does kind of add to his character. Like, you know, he's very family driven. He just wants to reunite with his family. Like, that's not, you know, it's a very heartfelt drive. But it's also, you know, it's a very strong one. It's not one that's overly complex, but it still is a very, very strong drive. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm trying to think of any other series that had aliens. I don't know. Did Animorphs ever? I didn't read Animorphs, so I'm not familiar with them. But did they have any? Aw, thank you. My pleasure, sir. Like I do. I enjoy being a sounding board. At the end of the day, like it's your character, it's your story. You do you do most you've done most of the brunt work. It's whatever makes you happy. Um, but I enjoy being like a sounding board. I like hearing other folks' ideas. It's really exciting. It kind of helps me keep creative too. Like, man, that was so fun helping them. I want to make a buddy too. That works. And if anyone gets saucy with Osmond, he can smack him with the cane. Or threaten to smack him with the cane. If he actually does so. Yeah, CR is a lot faster than I am. How did you get faster? Well, thank you. Something wonky's going on with the face right now, and I just can't figure out what's going on. So, Siri, personality, helping make him a bit of hot and cold. Okay, so like I can see him being one of those dads who doesn't really like verbally express his emotions, but his actions more than make up for it. Um, yeah, his actions more than like, you know, he might not verbally say how much his family means to him, or you know, someone might mean to him, but he definitely like, you know, he might be that dad who's there to almost every game. You know, he might not, you know, say how much he loves his kiddos, but he's there at every single game. Um, he might remember like little things that someone had said, you know, months ago, and they forgot about it, but he remembered, and he, you know, goes out of his way to make it happen. There's just something going on. What am I not seeing, guys? Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I can see him having like a very soft voice. Like his speaking voice is just kind of soft. Yeah, that'd be like, his weapon is usually loud enough for him. So he doesn't, he wouldn't. Why? And also, I can see being one of those like, why would he need to yell? He's speaking. You should listen. And those few times where he does raise his voice, like it's scary as all out. But he would have like that calming, kind of dad voice. The voice of someone who's comfortable with where he is. Comfortable with where he is in life. Because up until now, he might have had like a relatively successful career. He has a wife he loves and who loves him. He's got children he's very fond of. He's comfortable. His life is good. I'm thinking it's the lips that are driving me nuts, guys. It's like, what? What is... Duh. Oh, whoa, totally zoned. Yeah. And I can see, like, when he talks about his family, like, it's still soft, but you can tell, like, there's a lot of passion and emotion behind it. Because even though his voice might be down here, you can just tell he's really into what he is he's saying, and he will go to the ends of the earth for them, and he will fight to the bitter end if need be. You know, kind of like that. When in doubt, hide the neck. Yeah, that logic's. Yeah. Yeah, more better. Yeah, more better. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's come along. It was not supposed to take this long to do. Wait, where's that bow? Bow tie? Where are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, this was just supposed to be a 20-minute one. This is gonna have to get a little better at timing. It slays me, like, I'll watch CR's Artcasts, and he's just like, pew, 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 and I'm like, what? What? I don't get it. How are you so fast? I don't think I'm gonna get it done tonight, just because I'm a sleepy, and okay, no, that makes more sense. I'm getting sleepy, and I still have to take a shower. But I don't know. See how things are looking. Might just pick it up again where I left off tomorrow. I will leave a message on DeviantArt. Was that where you guys saw like the heads ups that they were from DeviantArt? Like what's a better way to do the information? I'm assuming it's DeviantArt. Awesome. Okay, so that's what. Hopefully, one way or another, I'll say if we're doing a stream, if I'm picking it up again tomorrow. If I mean, you guys, if you want to join, come back, join in, say hi. More than welcome to. If not, no big deal. I'll just try and keep plucking away at this. By all means, bring your characters for brainstorming. I definitely enjoy that. I think that works. I try to put the heads ups on DA a couple minutes before I start streaming here. Mostly it's because I'm trying to remember what to do. I'm like, all right, let's go, let's do this. Aw, what? Aw, what? That's 90% of how I roll, guys. Aw, what? But yeah, I'll try. I don't know if I'll be able to do the same time. I'll try and keep it relatively consistent. So then it's just easier to plan your days. But I think this is where we are gonna call it a night. I'm pretty pleased with where she's gotten. This was just supposed to be a 20-minute exercise. And she ended up not being. But that's okay. As I said, I'm pleased with how she's coming along. So, y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining me, guys. It was good. It was enjoyable. I had a good time. So y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good tomorrow. Y'all be good now. Bye. God, how do I stop? How do I end this? Ah!